be very proud. I'm talking about Auntie Delia as we sit here. Our next guest honed his skills in the theatre company Quilt. He's now making big moves by landing a role on Disney's new series Saint X, which premieres April 26th. I'm talking about none other than Jamaican actor Sule Thelwell, who joins us on set. Good morning to you.
Good morning to you.
We've been having a nice little chat, and I'm very excited about where you're going. But let's talk a little bit about where you're coming from.
Yes.
You did school here. You are a Glenmuirite and a Decartwrightite.
Yes.
Lot of JCDC. Tell me about the interest in performing arts.
It's just always been a part of me. It's where I felt most creative. My family has this motto: why do it when you can't overdo it?
Hey!
So like, I've always homework and stuff like that. I always put extra effort into foolishness, essentially, which ended up manifesting into acting and performing and stuff like that.
Is there anybody else in your family who acts? Is everybody a character?
No.
Okay.
I mean, in and of themselves, they are.
Yes.
But they all have their own like lanes and their own ambitions and stuff.
Yeah. And then you became a part of Quilt, and
Yes.
you say Quilt has laid the foundation for you to be where you are. You know, how long were you with them?
I was with them for a nice 2 years before going off to drama school. Without their kind of guidance and training in that time, I don't think I would have gotten into all the schools I applied for. So, big up Rayon, big up Quilt.
Yeah, good morning.
Yes.
So Quilt gave you the opportunity for those auditions? Was it Quilt who lined them up, or because of your experience with Quilt, you felt like you had the tools then to go and audition?
That is it, the tools. Actually, as well, Rayon, our artistic director and my manager, he said, why don't you apply for drama schools? You seem to really like process-driven acting and stuff. And I was like, what's drama school?
And what is process-driven acting? This is me asking you now.
Well, it's just basically having a process. Well, everybody has a process, but it's like when you know why you're doing something. It's when you go into the text and like really
Understand
break down all the minutia
yes.
things of it and the detective work to figure out why your character is doing this, where are they at this time, and just kind of making it a full-bodied thing that you can really get lost in.
So, you know, that was my next question, right? Don't you get lost sometimes? Like, how do you get out of character? You work scary, you know?
Yes, but I think that's why, like, acting classes, acting school, acting training, I think that's why these things are important. Because even though a lot of people aren't, like, formally trained, they still do, and this is what a lot of people don't realize, they still do classes. Acting classes are really important because it helps you to kind of create those boundaries to step into something and to step out of it. And also the safe ways and the unsafe ways of doing it.
Correct. A lot of us don't realize it's so, like, precarious, one, but two, that it has all those intricacies. I think you just do it, and then you're done. You have to kind of pack and then unpack, right?
Yes.
Necessary to the process. So you auditioned for how many drama schools?
5.
All in London or all over the world?
All
in
in
London. And you chose one,
Yes.
which is the Royal, what's it
Central
called?
School of Speech and
Royal
Drama,
Central
darling.
School of Speech and Drama, darling, but the darling does not belong on it. And you've been there for 2 years.
Yes.
And then here came this wonderful role.
Yes.
Tell me about that. Somebody dropped your name in the right room?
Yes. Somebody was just like, yo, you know what, audition for this Netflix thing. And I was like, yes.
What?
Of course, I'd love to. That would be amazing. And I think we just expected the furthest it would go was that my face would have been seen by the people who made this kind of thing happen. And I was completely, perfectly proud and happy with that. But then 6 months later, once you've forgotten all about that, I'm contacted and they're like, oh, it's not Netflix, it's Disney, and we're considering you for like a main role. And I'm like, what? That's crazy.
Was the audition difficult?
Well, self-tapes, I feel like if it was in person, that's where the difficulty is, because that's where all the nervousness comes in.
But you got to do it by yourself.
I got to do it with a lovely friend of mine, Kieran Kebwale Dwyer. He's an actor as well. He's doing amazing right now. He's booked up like well into next year. But yeah, I did it with him, and I ended up not getting the role that I auditioned for, but they liked me so much that they were like, we're gonna still bring you on for this season. And I ended up having a blast.
Yeah. So Saint X is the name of the production, and Saint X is an island.
Yes.
Which part? Anywhere?
In the Caribbean.
Okay.
A fictional one, not a real one.
And the role you play is?
Desmond.
Why you had to be a Desmond, Bridget? Did you really?
Where are we, Desmond? I know a lot of Desmond. Desmonds are good guys.
Oh my gosh, the Caribbean.
But we don't know if
Jamaica.
I'm a good guy.
Oh, but are you a good guy?
But am I a good guy?
What can you tell us without having to shoot us?
Well, what I can say is that it is a psychological thriller about this young lady that goes to vacation in the Caribbean with her family, and she dies.
Oh, wow.
Yes,
That
tragically.
That escalated really quickly.
And then we spend the rest of the season just trying to figure out who did it.
Who
or
done
if
it?
anyone did it.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay.
Maybe it was suicide.
Wow.
Who knows?
Yeah, Sule, you're taking us down also. I'm going to bring it right back because, so you had a great time doing this.
Yeah.
I asked you about your accent and if you were allowed to show your Jamaican-ness.
Mm-hmm.
There's a little bit of a melding of accents in here because your character is on an island that could be anywhere.
Yes.
So you literally had the bandwidth to make up something.
And that's exactly kind of what we did. We kind of came up with this amalgamation of different sounds and different tonalities, and we kind of just got all the cast together to really sediment what this place should sound like. So it doesn't sound like anywhere specific, but it does sound very specific to the place that we are when we're watching it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, what you just said makes complete sense. So you deferred. You're 2 years into drama school.
Yes.
You deferred to do this.
I did.
So now you go back to drama school.
Yes.
Finish your second year.
You know, right as the show comes out, I'll be,
back in London.
in
back in the
drama
cold,
school.
grey.
Yep.
Yep. And then after that, the sky is really the limit for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What are the dreams? What's a big dream?
I mean, I will play Miles Morales. That's Black Spider-Man, guys.
Okay. Guys, today is
MCU. Yes.
Today is January 30. It is 7:01. Say that again.
I will play Miles Morales. That is Black Spider-Man in the MCU. That is, at this point, my biggest ambition. As soon as I get there, I'll know what the next thing is.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I want to do for myself. Okay. I've always kind of looked up to superheroes, and ever since I was a kid, I wanted to be a ninja and an astronaut and all these things. And I mean, as a parent, how do you tell your child that, honey, you'll never be able to do all those things in one lifetime? You don't. You support them.
Yeah, why do it when you can overdo it? You can be a Hova ninja.
And then hopefully,
yeah, of course,
they become an actor where I can be a ninja and an astronaut and a superhero.
Right. That's why you must just talk things into being.
Yes.
Because it can be do. I think I'm going to be watching when you're around.
Thank
when
you.
You become Miles. I'm going to be watching Saint X as
Tell
well.
me what you think,
I
please.
will,
Yes.
for sure. And I feel like there are really big things in store for your future.
I feel so too.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, man. You say feel so too, you know it's going to happen. Jamaican actor Sule Thelwell with us this morning. We are proud of you, sir.
Thank
Young
you.
man, go do your thing. 21 and ready to take over El Mundo. Evil laugh. Cute evil laugh. Cute evil laugh.
Ha 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 ha.
Okay, wow. All right, guys. Thanks, Sule. Coming up next, we are zeroing in on bushfires and the environment. We have more on Smile after the break. Thank you, Sule.